Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews.
Don't make me destroy you.
Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews. So, if anybody saw my community post or anything on Twitter, you'll know that the last couple of days have been really tough. My family lost our dog and we lost all of our pets within the last 4 months, so it's been a really difficult time. So you'll have to forgive me for just the whole lack of effort for this video, to be honest with you, in a film which is maximum effort. Deadpool and Wolverine, man, if I ever needed something to cheer me up, this would be the absolute film, and thankfully it really is. It's really fun, it's ridiculous. The plot, I'll tell you for something, the plot is absolute arse. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I mean, it's utterly ludicrous, but to be fair, if you ask me what the plot of Deadpool 1 and 2 are, I wouldn't be able to tell you, to be quite honest with you. So, yeah, I don't think that's, in the grand scheme of things, I don't really think that's much of an issue, especially when you're in the position where all you're after is just something to cheer you up. This film is absolutely balls to the wall action. It's pure and utter fan service. It should be called Fan Service the movie, to be quite honest with you, because it is exactly that. But the thing is, it wears all that in a knowing way. It doesn't shirk away from any of that. It doesn't feel false. It doesn't feel like it's shoehorned in, like some of the recent, Marvel efforts have been, where cameos are thrust in just to gain a reaction for, something potential in the future. The reactions for this film are all here and now. They're all here and now, and they're serving this particular item in of itself. There's no, for me, there's no sort of like, oh, this is what's going to happen in the future if this happens, or this character appears because they're going to appear in something else in the future. I mean, it leaves doors open, no doubt, but a lot of it's self-serving. It's single-serving for this particular film, and I think it does that well. There are a number of cameos that just are mystifying, to be fair, and the spoiler symbol would have come up right at the start of the review, but there is a couple of cameos in that I simply didn't expect. 100% did not expect Wesley Snipes' Blade to appear in this. Not after all the the rumours and news about him and Ryan Reynolds during Blade Trinity. I didn't expect it, but I think what the good thing about Ryan Reynolds is, I'm guessing he has this inane ability to reconcile mistakes, or at least present worthwhile opportunities to those that may have been wrong, or maybe they've had falling it out or whatever. I don't know. I mean, the greatest sort of example is Wolverine coming back. I mean, who would have thought we'd have Wolverine coming back, especially played by Hugh Jackman in another film, especially after Logan. But with Blade, I think it's even more surprising because they absolutely hated each other on Blade Trinity. But there you go. I think it's just a measure and a marker of the quality of what was offered. I mean, he's not in it overly that long. He does say my favourite line from the very first Blade film, which made me smile. And I think that's the thing about this film. It's not going to change the world at all. I think the action is superb. I think the direction overall is really well done. You cannot knock any way Ryan Reynolds' performance or Hugh Jackman's performance. They're at the peak of their game. You can tell they're absolutely having a blast, as is everybody in this film. Matthew McFadden is brilliant as this snivelling, weaseling TVA Mr. Paradox. Emma Corrin as Cassandra Nova, who I knew nothing about coming into this film at all, is intriguing. I mean, again, we have the Marvel problem of villains being one and done. Maybe there's some factor where she can come back. I don't know. We're in the multiverse after all, aren't we? And she does have a massive impact across the comic book sphere from what I've been reading, from what I've learned. So who knows really. But I think the performances are just exceptional. Everybody's into it. Everybody's buying it. There is a wonderful cameo by Chris Evans playing Johnny Storm again. Jennifer Garner's there as Electra, and you even have just a absolutely ridiculous cameo from Channing Tatum playing Gambit, the role that he was supposed to be playing 10, 15 years ago, right up until several years ago before Fox was bought out, and he's playing it, and he plays it terribly, and I think it's done on purpose, and I like it. It's very honest, it's very shrewd, it's very on the nose, and a lot of stuff in this film is on the nose, but it does it so very well. It does it so very well. Like I said, the action is absolutely insane. There's tons of gore, there's tons of violence, there's a lot of people that get wiped out in this film, and what more do you want? What more do you want? Like I said, I think the plot is a bit drab. I don't think it really goes anywhere very fast. It seems to be, a byproduct of trying to contain this multiverse nonsense, which, to be fair to it does in its own little sphere. We're not quite opened to the madness of everything being everywhere all at once, so to speak. But it does well enough just to maintain everything. Like I said, the jokes land. For the most part, the jokes land really, really well. You have Hugh Jackman there as the straight man in this endeavour. None of these other side characters maybe overpopulated Deadpool 2. We do have this fundamental grounding with Wolverine. The only thing I will say is that a lot of the emotional beats that we get played with Wolverine in this film, we did have in Logan as well. So it almost seems like we're retreading familiar ground, albeit with a different outcome, in a way, if you know what I mean, in terms of like what he's suffering with, his guilt for whatever reason it is, and this and that. It is different to what it is in Logan, but it is familiar ground, and that's not to detract, even though it doesn't quite hit as well as you'd think, because we had such a resounding resolution, and that was always the danger, I think, with this film, is we had such a resounding resolution with Logan, and then we're bringing up the dead, which, to be fair to the film, they play with that really, really perfectly well. It is a joke in itself, the fact what happens in Logan, so I'm not going to spoil too much with regards to that. I'm not going to spoil much in the way of the plot itself. It does leave a lot to be desired, but I think overall, in terms of what the film sets out to be, and it knows exactly what it's supposed to be, it knows exactly what it wants to do, it knows exactly what bars it wants to hit, and it hits every single one of them, I think, to be honest with you. I think it is a very, very enjoyable film. It's not going to change the world, it's not going to change the universe. It will change Marvel's trajectory, I think, in terms of box office numbers, no doubt. But I think there are still some underlying issues, that this film cannot solve on its own. I think it will take a lot of like-minded films. I'm not necessarily saying R-rated movies, but I think a lot of films that are willing to go against the grain, or at least play with the grain in a way that's different. I think Marvel needed Deadpool a lot more than Deadpool needed Marvel in this way. What I mean is the MCU. The MCU needed Deadpool a lot more than Deadpool needed the MCU, and I think they know that, and it's interesting to see that play out in the way it does. But there you go. It's a very enjoyable film. I'm remiss to try and spoil too much more, but the cameos are not overdone. There are a few that happen and go very quickly, but for the most part, I think it is nice that we get some of the cameos that we are treated to. Gambit, for example, never seen Gambit in live action. We get this ridiculous version of Gambit. It's hilarious. It is really, really well done. In the fact that it's so shit, it's perfect. And then, of course, we do get Daphne Keane, which we saw in the trailers, which I think they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done that, because there is a hit. There's a bit of an emotional hit that happens when she turns up, and you're like, why did you reveal that in the trailer? What a shame. But there you go. I think it is a really well done film. It is certainly what I needed, in a way. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's perfect. I think it's good. I think it's a very good film. I think it's very fun. and it will be interesting to see what happens from here, to be honest with you. So yeah, for that reason, I will be giving this film an 8 out of 10. I might be being a bit too generous in regards to some parts of it, but it's what I needed today. It's exactly what I needed. Yeah. Thanks very much, Ryan. I don't think you'll ever see this review, but thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you very much, Hugh, because, yeah, it brought something out of me. It brought a smile to my miserable face at the minute. So, yeah, an 8 out of 10. We'll see what happens, I guess. I guess we'll see at San Diego Comic Con when they start revealing all sorts of crazy stuff. But yeah, there you go. So, thank you very much for bearing with me. Sorry there's no clips in this video, but like I said, I'm going through a bit of a difficult patch and taking 10 minutes out just to do this for you, because I think I need to do it. This is what I like doing. I need to do reviews like this, but I want to get my thoughts out. I want people to enjoy, you know, everything that I do, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's loud enough for a start. I've not really slept, to be honest, so hopefully it's loud enough for you. But I hope you go out and see this film. I hope you do get something from it. You know, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about this film? Did you want to see more cameos? Are you surprised by the cameos we did get? Are you shocked that we didn't get other cameos that were almost nailed on in a way, strange as it is? But yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this. Probably a bit better than this, to be fair with you, with clips and editing in, but alas, such as it is. One thing before I go, I'm not a fan of the dog. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Dog pool, whatever it is, nah, bit too much for me, but of all the fucking things that are in this film, I think you can be forgiven for one. So yeah, there we go. An 8 out of 10. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.